Well, it's sure been a minute, and we're not in South Africa anymore, so I'd like to take a second to explain that. The past few months have been one of the craziest journeys our little family has ever been on. Twists and turns that would make any normal person's head spin. You start out with a dream, you plan it out and move forward into that dream, but reality has other plans for you. At the beginning of the year, I almost lost both of my parents to COVID. And at the time of making this video, my mother has been a patient for 85 days in ICU with a small chance of recovery. We went out to South Africa for a fresh start, for wide open spaces, and to help my parents into a better position for their retirement. We bought a farm and started a small holding. I was a working travel photographer when we made our move to South Africa, and that was meant to continue and fund our new way of life. Then COVID hit. Lockdown after lockdown, and the travel industry stood still, and the money stopped. We continued off of savings and managed to get some remote online admin work, which was a huge blessing for us. But in order to keep things afloat, work on the farm suffered, as I had to keep earning. COVID restrictions continued for almost 2 years, and then the travel industry started to open up again, and new work was on the horizon, but the South African border was extremely volatile and kept bouncing between various red lists, travel bans and tougher travel restrictions. So we took the decision to move back to the UK, where international travel seemed to be heading towards normality, whatever that is. And having some work in the pipeline, things were starting to look up. And this is where we're at now. We're in the southeast of England, staying with my wife's folks in a little village in Sussex. I'm sure you realize that this is a massive oversimplification of our journey, but I hope to break it down for you to give you some context for why we moved. It was an extremely difficult decision for us to make because as a family we'll always be split over two ends of the world, me being from South Africa and my wife being British. Together, we've learned to work through a decision-making process and ask ourselves questions around key areas of our lives. Work and work opportunities, education, community, lifestyle and leisure, and in the end, it made sense for us to move back to the UK. Now, my heart will always be in Africa for as long as I live, and I will return to her as often as I possibly can. But for now, we're going to put some roots down and try and create some stability and security for our family in this crazy clown world that we're living in. The farm is a fantastic place for a family and to raise a family. But it didn't tick every box for us. The distance into town for school for the children was less than ideal, which meant Laura had to homeschool. And although there's nothing wrong with that, it did put an added layer of pressure on her, and it meant that it took all of her available time to earn. So we were down to one income. In the UK, for example, the kids have gone straight into school, and it's freed Laura up to bring in a second income, and now we can position ourselves much better to be able to afford to fly back to South Africa and visit family, rather than the other way around, where we would never be able to afford to visit family in the UK if we were in South Africa. Now, we are in an extremely blessed position to have great community in South Africa and in the UK, and as long as we stay in contact and connection with everybody, we will have amazing people wherever we go. Now, you heard me mention lifestyle and leisure. Now, this is a tricky topic because in South Africa you have it in abundance. You have world-class beaches right on your doorstep, you have mountain bike trails, you have outdoor activities, and all for a very reasonable price. In the UK, it does exist, but it costs a lot more and it's harder to find. So you just have to work a little bit harder to have a similar kind of lifestyle. So what does this all mean for this little YouTube channel and this fantastic little community? Where's it going to go from here? I wanted to firstly say thank you. Thank you for being so patient with me. So many of you have reached out to me and encouraged me to make videos again and pick up the camera again and just shoot something. I've only just gotten to a headspace where I can do that again. So thank you for being patient with me. Now, secondly, things are going to change a little bit around here on this channel, so I hope you all stick around. While in South Africa, I kind of saw the writing on the wall when the whole travel industry just shut down and my career as a travel photographer just stopped overnight. So I took the opportunity and I trained up in a new skill as a mountain bike mechanic. I went through a really intense course by SciTech, which is an international accreditation, and I graduated with a Master Technician certificate. Whatever that means, I'm not there yet, I'm just starting. I did all this in the hope of starting a repair shop. I love the mountain bike industry, I love the cycle industry, and let's face it, I'm never going to be a pro rider. But I am kind of okay-ish with my hands, and I really enjoyed the aspect of fixing, repairing, putting together, taking apart bikes. So this was a way that I could diversify my income. So the channel is going to be weighted a little bit more now towards mountain biking and fixing them, riding them, filming them. And I'm actually thinking of changing the name of the channel to Fix, Ride, Film. Let me know what you think in the comments, and yeah, I'm kind of keen on that. It kind of encompasses a whole bunch of stuff that I want to do. So I'll slowly start to build a bicycle repair workshop, and I think that could be really, really fun. And it's going to be from the bare beginnings. I mean, I'm going to be starting this out of my father-in-law's garage, for goodness sake. So you'll get to see it from the very genesis, which kind of reminds me of one of my favorite Bible verses, and it's Zechariah 4 verse 10, and it goes, "Don't despise small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices when the work begins." And that motivates and terrifies me all in the same. Let's see where this thing goes. Anyway, I wanted to do a few more videos after this one, going sort of finer and deeper into some of the reasons why we left South Africa. So if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to address those. Otherwise, I have a few topics in mind that I think will interest some of you. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.